Yo, what's up, guys? It's D Brown with Trackheads. I'd like to welcome to another episode of Trackheads. So, we just got finished watching the day one in Zurich. We saw the showdown between Karsten Warholm and what's his name? Mr. Duplantis, Mondo Duplantis. If you guys don't know, Karsten Warholm is the 400-meter world record holder, 400-meter hurdle world record holder. He's also the 2020/2021 Olympic champion, like basically the GOAT of the 400-meter hurdles. And we have Mondo Duplantis, who is the multi-world champion, world record holder, multi-Olympic champion for the, for the pole vault. I mean, basically the youngest GOAT that we have ever seen, a prodigy. And they basically end up doing a 100-meter showdown race, kind of like a exhibition, something really fun that's really never really been done before. So I just want to break down the biggest takeaways of like why this is such a monumentous occasion and event. A lot of people are just thinking that, oh, it's a win-lose kind of situation. Somebody's going to be, someone's going to suck or someone's going to be beat in this race. Like, I want to say I have like maybe 5 big takeaways to kind of get from this thing. So the first one I'm going to say is this is the first time, at least for me, I think, in the history of track and field, really since the Michael Johnson versus Donovan Bailey race of the 150 in 1997, that we've had 2 big stars from different events combine and clash and race in an unconventional event that has nothing to do with their events that they actually run. In the event with Michael Johnson and Donovan Bailey, this was the race for the fastest man. You had the world champion and I think at the time world record holder Donovan Bailey in the 100, and then you had Michael Johnson, who just broke the world record in 1996 in Atlanta at the Olympics at 1932. And he was crowning himself the world champion because a technicality when it comes to who hit the highest top end speed versus who held it for the longest, it was a great marketing plan, and we haven't really seen anything like this since that time. So now we have, someone who runs the 400-meter hurdles and someone who does the pole vault as a field event, clashing in an unconventional race of who's the faster athlete. And like I said, it showed that not only can we have these kind of races and it be fun, and it be something great to look forward to, it's not colored in beef. It is not colored in the sensationalism of like, staring down the other athlete or talking trash and all this stuff. It was probably the most friendliest but competitive race that I think we've seen that didn't end in someone being a loser, right? Someone lost the race, but no one was a loser in this race. No one pulled up halfway. No one was injured. Like no one end up like taking a L. It was basically like, okay, you lost, but we both did pretty good in that race. So that has to be the biggest takeaway. It showed that beef doesn't have to be associated with competitive running and sprinting, and that it can be done. Because that's not, like I said, I feel like if it could have been done any other time, it would have been done. Why does it take almost 20 years, 17 years since 1997 for that race for any kind of matchup to be had? It doesn't make any sense why it's taken so long. So it was really great to see. Number 2, the biggest takeaway is that there's not many events like this where 2 people can race and then go back to their respected events, right? When you're talking about the Donovan Bailey and Michael Johnson situation, they raced in the 150, but it was still an on-track performance, right? There were no hurdles involved. No one had the special aspects of their events inside this 100. It was like, okay, cool, we ran a 100, we can go our separate ways. I can still be the 400-meter GOAT, and then I can still be the pole vault GOAT, and we can still keep on getting this money, be the top talent in our specific countries, right? Mondo Duplantis being Sweden, and then Warholm being dang, I forgot where he's from, but some a different country. I think he's the same place as the Vikings. But anyway, them going to both of their respective countries as superstars. So that's something that is a number 2 takeaway. Number 3 is that in terms of money, in terms of sponsorships, like everyone won. They're both sponsored by Puma. They're both premier athletes for Puma. I think Mondo probably takes thousands of dollars from Puma every single meet because he breaks his freaking world record every year. They're going to be probably lifelong Puma people, right? Puma has the world record holder in the 400-meter hurdles and the world record holder for the pole vault. There's no losers Also, they're sponsored by Red Bull, which is another tremendous sponsor. So like I said, you have sponsors by Red Bull and Puma. Those are two big sponsorships that can't be underestimated, right? I think at that particular time of Michael Johnson and Donovan Bailey, as reference, I know Michael Johnson was with Nike. I want to say maybe Donovan Bailey was with Adidas. I'm not particularly sure. But like I said, there was a lot more beef and the sponsorships were kind of different. I do believe that they made a large amount of money in that transaction. But like I said, the aspects of this particular run in the Zurich Diamond League as a event that was a one-off, like it came off as like a beautiful like Puma and Red Bull sponsorship kind of backed race in which they can showcase two of their GOATs running competitively for the king of the 100 for the night, because no one actually runs the 100. Number 4 that I would say is, like I said, they got, this was a race that everyone wanted to see. The matchup of the two GOATs. The one thing that I really liked is that other athletes actually were looking forward to this run. Other athletes were actually looking to support. You had Mondo Duplantis, who was an LSU not graduate, but LSU athlete. You had Sha'Carri Richardson walking him out. You had Vernon Norwood walking him out. Those are both LSU attendees, right? You have Lasile Tobogo, the 200-meter Olympic champion, walking him out. You have Fred Curley, who was helping him with block starts and taking credit as a first-time coach in this particular run. So you had a lot of athletes who were very excited just to see, that run. And like I said, it wasn't any bad blood. It was real fun, right? I wasn't sure who walked Warholm out, but like I said, I think it was a lot of just competitiveness. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like the when you see like the funness of like the shot put relay or it's not shot put, but the pole vault relay or the big boy relay. It had that kind of like funness to it, where it's just like, yo, I just coached up this pole vaulter who I bet it's like a bet. Like, yo, I bet this pole vaulter can smoke you. Right, you have the best of both worlds. You have the sprint side of the pole vaulter, and then you have the distance or strength side of the 400-meter run. It's like the two most unconventional people racing together. It just made for good television and made for good racing, and it was great to see it garner positive attention. It wasn't somebody talking about somebody's mother. It wasn't somebody like talking crazy trash. It wasn't corny either. It was just like, yo, we about to race, we about to line up. It's competitive. Let's have some fun, and let's make sure we both stay injury free. It was dope to see like Sidious Mag and some of these other backed companies that covered some of these races interview their parents. Because Mondo's parents are his coaches. So interviewing Mondo's parents, interviewing Karsten Warholm's coach, like that was really dope to see. So that was my number 4 takeaway. They had a lot of positive people involved, a lot of other athletes involved. That's what helped garner more attention, positive attention for the race. And last but not least, I think that should have been my first thing, is that, yo, they actually ran some respectable times. I made a prediction about what I thought he could run. I believe I said 10-3, 10-4, and that Mondo Duplantis was going to win, because it's easier to stretch out speed versus trying to get strength to go fast. And like I said, Karsten Warholm just came off of a 46-second 400-meter hurdle, a really fast race. But his rhythm is 46. 46 is what, 23 twice, and then 23 is 11 and some change. So it's like his rhythm is used to 11 seconds and some change over hurdles. So him trying to go 10 something is so beyond fat. It's probably, again, he's used to a certain rhythm. Right, and it's not like high school where you can run the 1, 2, 4, 400-meter hurdles. He's used to his elite rhythm of the 46-second barrier for the 400-meter hurdles. So running full speed like that is going to be really weird. Mondo Duplantis, killed it, ran 10:37, looked smooth. They both looked really smooth. One thing that you really notice in the run is that Warholm basically is so programmed for hurdles. As soon as he popped up, you can see him get into the same gallop that he would get into if he was doing hurdles, and it's like, probably felt weird to him, like, yo, there's no hurdles here. How am I going to navigate this? But, just the instincts of coming out of blocks, you're so programmed for the race pattern of hurdling. It probably felt a little weird. But, look, 10:37 for Mondo Duplantis and 10:37 for Mondo Duplantis and then 10:47 for Karsten Warholm. I think that's a PR for Mr. Decathlon Day. So definitely impressive. And it really just shows, how fast that is to not be, I mean, you have elite, you have the 9.7 guys, 9.8, 9.9 guys, and the fact that you still have guys that do not run the 100 that can still run 10.3 and 10.4. And it really shows too, because I think when that football player from the Seahawks, when he ran a couple years ago, I believe he ran like a 10.3 or a 10.4. And to have that pole, you know, we have a pole vaulter that can go 10.3. Crazy. It's crazy. So, like I said, definitely a quality run, and definitely something that we could, you know, it's the blueprint of what I think we can continue to do at some of these Diamond League meets to garner some attention. That's just that one meet, that one day. I feel like it's gonna probably be it's probably just as explosive or just as attention it garners so much attention compared to the second day. I'm really curious into how many clicks each race gets, and I guarantee I have a pretty good guess that particular run is going to have more clicks on ABC or wherever they posted at compared to the matchup with Sha'Carri Richardson and Julian Alfred, or the race between Tabogo, Fred Curley, and Kenny Bednarek, and a lot of these guys. So, like I said, going to be very interesting. But those are my biggest takeaways, coming from the 100-meter showdown. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was really dope. We got to make sure we support a lot more of these. And guys, what were your biggest takeaways? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, you can go ahead and subscribe and like the video. And I'll see you guys on the next one. This is D Brown with Trackheads. Peace.